Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to discuss an MCQ on GST. See, this is a very short and a simple one. Let us start. The MCQ says in GST, exempt supply means there are three options: nil rated and wholly exempt, non-taxable supplies like alcoholic liquor for human consumption, and the third option is both A and B. I can give you a few seconds to think on the options. You can think and write the answers in the comment box if you want. In GST, exempt supply means there are three options: nil rated, wholly exempt, non-taxable supply like alcohol, liquor, and the last is both A and B. Let us discuss the answer. The answer is both A and B. Now, there are some students who might think that, sir, okay, exempt means something which is nil rated and wholly exempt. This we have understood. Sir, but how can alcoholic liquor be treated as exempt under GST? There are some students who might think that on alcoholic liquor there is no GST at all. It is specifically excluded via Constitution of India. Then how can something which is not leviable to GST treated as exempt supply? See friends, I understand what you are trying to say. There is one definition in CGST Act, which is section 247, which defines exempt supplies. See, normally when we hear about exempt supplies, we have a few examples, like say for example, services of healthcare which is given by hospitals, education which is given in schools and colleges, entry to few museums, national parks, etc. So these are the examples which suddenly come to our mind when we talk about exempt, right? But the definition is a very inclusive one. It says exempt means something which is nil rated, means in GST tariff the rate of GST might be 0 or maybe nil, and something which is only exempt by way of notification. But it also includes a non-taxable supply. Now, some students might think, what is the logic behind including non-taxable supply in exempt? See, I'll tell you what is the logic. See, whenever you define something as exempt, what happens is there are certain restrictions with related to exempt supply. One of the restriction is when you buy something and use it for providing an outward exempt supplies. When you buy something, in case of your purchases, whether you are buying capital goods, whether you are buying inputs, or whether you are buying input services. So whenever you buy something, for example, supposedly someone is having a shop for selling alcoholic liquor, correct? So this person is selling alcohol. Alright, so now this alcohol, as per the definition, is an exempt supply. Now what happens is, whenever someone is given an exempt supply, there is a restriction on ITC. In other words, against exempt supplies, you cannot claim ITC. So what I am trying to suggest over here is, alcohol is also treated as exempt. I understand that alcohol should not be treated as exempt in normal language. But over here, this is a deeming section. You know what? This non-taxable supply is also deemed to be exempt. Why? Because what the government is trying to say is, when we define something as exempt, we can restrict the ITC against this. Alright. So what they were indirectly trying to tell us is that against alcoholic liquor for human consumption, on which they are not going to get any GST because there is no GST on alcohol, you cannot claim any ITC on purchases which is used in this business. There might be some people who are having multiple businesses, right? Say for example, there is Mr. X who is having one business, two business, three businesses. Now say for example, one business is of electronics, the other business is of services, and there is another business of alcohol. So you know what they are trying to say? That whenever you use any purchases, whenever you make any purchases and use for this alcohol business, you cannot claim ITC because even alcohol is treated as an exempt supply in GST. So basically, that was the logic behind including even non-taxable supply in the definition of exempt, because indirectly what they are trying to say is if you are supplying such type of things which are not leviable to GST, but you purchase something. Now, when we purchase something, it is not necessary that even this would not be liable to GST, right? Even in an alcohol business, you will need a restaurant, or you can say, sorry, not a restaurant, but say, for example, an air condition or maybe a furniture. So what happens is, for alcohol business, your outward supply is not leviable to GST, but inward supply will still be leviable to GST. But once you claim it and once you define it as exempt, you will not be able to claim ITC against the purchases which are made for this business. So exempt supply means nil rated, wholly exempt, and all those non-taxable supply. Now, when I say non-taxable supply, alcoholic liquor for human consumption is an example. Even you can say petrol is a non-taxable supply. Even you can say diesel is a non-taxable supply. So, all those products on which GST is not leviable are included in the definition of exempt supply because they are not taxable, and non-taxable in GST is also assumed to be exempt. Thank you very much.